Welcome to Timberwolf Treasures. Welcome to Timberwolf Treasures. Yeah.
Greetings and welcome to Timberwolf Treasures. My name's Colleen. To start with on this video, I wanted to show you why I do the voiceovers is because I do wear a mask and it's hard to do the talking and hearing through a mask. I always have my gloves on, and I'm using 2-part epoxy today. It is Let's Resin 2-part epoxy. I have measured it out. It's 1:1, and then you stir it until you have no more you could see little lines, and that just shows it's not fully mixed together. You always make sure that you mix around the outside and the bottom. So I've got a new mold here from Epoxy Resin. It's quite cute. And this is going to be a turtle holder. So you see there's going to be a lid, which is the shelf, and then the turtle. This one's a little axolotl, a new octopus. It's kind of different than the other one I've been making forever, so I'm interested to see how this one's going to turn out. This is, well, I thought it was going to be a pencil holder. You'll see later on what it turns out to be. It's not a pencil holder. So there's a couple items that I'm going to start with putting a few gemstones in. What I like to do is if they're going to be on the very bottom, I'm going to put some clear resin in the bottom and kind of squish it around and try to make sure there's no bubbles down there. And then while I'm stirring all the colors in for the stuff I'm going to make, it'll give it some time to thicken up a little bit. So I've got my 4 cups here because I'm going to do 4 different colors. I'm just using plastic cups. You can get them anywhere cheap. Dollar store, Dollarama. This is not a big cost here. As I'm in Canada, I don't like to do a whole lot of epoxy resin in the wintertime because I like to have all the windows open and get a good cross breeze going on. So this is my first resin project for 2026. That is epoxy resin, the 2-part resin. So I'm kind of going a little overboard, but it's nice to actually be able to go and get stuff going again. I do a lot of UV resin during the winter time, but you always have to be careful. Now you can see I'm going to be putting a little bit of gemstones in this one too. So I am putting some clear to start so the gemstones will have something to mix in with. Now you squeeze it a little bit. You're trying to make sure there's no big bubbles because you can do whatever you can to try to alleviate the bubble situation. Now I've got a magic resin color here. It's a royal purple. Just trying it out. It looks very pretty in the package. So I just put a little bit in and stir it up really well. This is from the Magic Resin store. They have little samplers that you could try. So I tried a couple different colors. If they turn out looking as nice as they do in the finished product, I'll probably have to go and check out some of the larger containers. But they were so cost effective, I just wanted to get in there and give it a shot. So I'm using mica powders today. So you put a little bit in and you stir it up because you don't want any clumps of micro powders because it'll show up. And you can always just do what I'm doing here, and it'll show you how the resin's going to actually look because it's on the stick, and it's going to show you how the purple's going to look when it So you have a good idea. So you're not sure. Then we've got this gunmetal green. It's a darker green than most, but it's actually very nice. Like when I saw it, I knew I had to try it because it was a lot of the greens that you find are more leaf green, which are pretty colors, but sometimes you just want something a little deeper, a little darker. I'm not going to make you watch me sit there and stir and stir and stir because that would be boring. So I've got Rolio here, and it is a white sparkle. No one wants to sit here and watch me stir and stir and stir for a good chunk of time, so I'm just trying to cut it as... I don't want to spill it. I don't want to knock it over. You can see me trying to be careful. Last thing I want is... check me out. I've got it upside down. That was supposed to be a chrome silver. But it's... I'm pouring it in. I'm going to check out, do a nice stir, get it all mixed together. And I don't know, it just wasn't really working for me. It wasn't that different than the other silver. I was kind of expecting it to be a more... It's a pretty color. There's nothing wrong with the color or the product. It just wasn't what I had in my mind. So I decided I had to add a little something to it to just make it more along the lines of what I was thinking of. So here's Let's Resin. It's caramel. It is a resin dye. I'm just trying to make it a little less like the other color. I didn't need two colors that were so close together. And this one's going to be going mostly in the turtle shell, so I wanted something that's going to show as a shimmer and a sparkle. So we got everything's mixed together, and now we can start doing the fun part. Let's actually start creating some stuff. So as you saw earlier, I've got the clear resin in there just to thicken up a little bit. And I did collect some stones that are all in different shades of purple. They call them amethyst. I almost knocked it over. Glad I didn't do that. I don't know if they are amethyst. I assume they're not. They're just pretty rocks that are purple. I get them on Temu. I can get them sometimes off of Etsy sellers, or I've been to a few rock shows, and where they have like the clearance bins, I'll go check out for what the pretty colors are and what I think would work well in resin. So I always squish it around. I want to make sure that I have enough resin to cover the gemstones so they will be nicely mixed in. Now on this one, there is a hole in it, as you can see on the circle in the top. So I wanted to get the gemstones around it and not just all stuck on the top, because I wanted a full design, and you can see me just kind of forcing it down to get the look that I want. You could do this entire thing in gemstones with some clear or a little sparkle in it. This one I decided to do, I wanted to put some of the silver and the purple resin in there too to get a different look for it. Then I put a little more resin to make sure all the rocks are covered. If you do not put clear resin to cover the rocks, when you put the color, like the next one I put in is going to be purple, it'll just cover all the rocks and you won't see them. So that's why I put the clear in. I want to have an actual separation so you can see each one of the pretty rocks that are in there, because that's the whole point. Do something a little different. You could put, and now the Into Resin, cute little pendant. I decided before I started doing this one that one it's going to be that really rich purple. I'm interested to see how this turns out. The mold itself is beautiful. I just hope I could not cause a whole bunch of air bubbles. You just pour it in the middle. And for something this delicate and with this many places where little bubbles could get in there, take your time. There's no rush. It's rather to take it a few seconds longer and get the result that you want. Resin's not something to be really quickly and forced through. So I'm just topping it up a little bit. Make sure it's full but not over full. You can always clean up a little bit because you can see I've got a couple drops there. I'll just clean that up at the end. That's not going to be a problem at all. It'll get the results that I'm interested in. Then I've got the little dotting tool. And I'm just trying to use all the little areas to see if there's any bubbles hiding in there for them to come out. I'm doing my best to try to get a good result. Like, you want to get this all taken care of for you. And a little cleaning up. And then it's time for that one to start curing. Let's just get that out of the way so I don't knock it over. So you can see I'm still doing a little bit of squeezing there, trying to make sure there's no large bubbles. The ones like this butterfly, lots of bubbles can get in there. So I'm using some glue because in this project, I want the purple to stay purple and I want the green to stay green. Like, it's all you have to do is pour a little bit in, not much at all, and it's going to give a very thick kind of slimy kind of. So a couple little tiny drops. It will thicken your resin. It's going to be like slime, but it gets the job done. And it will keep the different colors from merging. If you want the different colors to merge and blend together, well, that's cool. Don't put the glue in. But for the looks that I wanted today, I put the glue in because I wanted each of the colors to stay individual, to be beside each other, but not necessarily just all merged together. Because I'm going to be putting some white sparkle in there. Well, I don't just want, in this product, I don't just want light purple. I wanted white and I wanted purple. So that is why I went with the glue. You can see me put a little bit more gemstones, and I wanted to make sure the purple got down to the gemstone so there wasn't a large gap. So that's why you see me just kind of forcing the purple down a little bit to get to the edge of where the gemstones are. If you like a large gap of the clear in between, well, it's your creation. Do what jumps out to you. Something that you would enjoy and what you like to do. I'm trying to stay organized and not cause a mess. I'm really, really trying. And a little bit more glue, because like I said, and you can see I'm not putting a lot in, just a tiny little squirt, like it's just a couple drops. I don't have a lot of resin in here. I don't need a lot of glue. I'm just trying to, well, it's kind of like snot. It's slime, it's snot, but it will get the job done. You just don't think about what it kind of looks like. Slime sounds better than snot, gotta tell you. At least it does to me. I mean, to each his own. And let's put him a little to the side and let him see if any massive bubbles start forming up. And then we'll get rid of them if they do. You can see I'm trying not to make a mess. I'm really trying. So this one, I want it just to blend in and be like a shimmer or a shine. So there's no glue in it. because I don't mind if that color kind of shows up like a sparkle, just to give a little difference. So that's why there's no glue in these. I am doing a little bit of the kind of caramel sparkle and a little bit of the green, and they will mix together. But in one thing you do need to remember, resin's going to do what resin wants. You can swirl it, you can kind of hint it towards where you want it to go, but in reality, it's going to do what it feels like. I'm just putting the 2 colors in to start with, just to try to get, and I did want green in all the little foot and the head. I'm just trying to get the green to kind of swirl around to cover the areas that I wanted it to be the majority green. And then let's get some sparkle in there. And it's not a bright sparkle. You could do that. You could put some glitter in here. If you want glitter to go all the way through and not just clump at the bottom. It's not white glue. It's clear craft glue or Elmer's glue. Lots of people use Elmer's glue. I bought what I had and what I could find on the day that I went shopping. But clear white crafting glue, it'll work. Because a lot of people like Elmer's. I couldn't find it that day. The one I picked up works perfect. And now it's time to start filling this octopus. Usually I don't make this many things all at once. It's just the first pop of the season. You know, when you've been itching to get in there and doing some creative and let's get things going. In the future, I'll make less so the video will be shorter, I promise. I finally got weather. We finally had some sunny skies. We're hitting, I think today we're going to hit 27 Celsius, which is in the 90s for Fahrenheit, which is very cool. Well, for us, like, we just had snow a week and a half ago. So the fact that it's a gorgeous, nice day, they are threatening thunderstorms, but that comes with heavy, and that's okay. Now you can see me topping up some of the octopus. And if you want to do it all one color, no problem. I decided that I wanted some purple on him too. Or her. Just to have a nice little contrast in the feet. I tend to like to do that to make sure there is different colors down, especially for the octopuses and the frogs. I don't know why, but I like to put their legs and their feet nice. Make sure they have a nice color that'll pop, that'll show really nicely for you. Okay, so now 24 hours later, we'll be ready to get going and start doing.
Welcome back. It's the next day. I'm going to try doing this as a live chat instead of the voiceovers that I usually do. Usually I have a mask and all the PPE on, but today we're just going to be doing some unmolding, and I figured that was a chance to get actually do a live broadcast. Well, not live, but talking right to you as it happened. Thank you very much for being here. To start with, this is the first mold of the year for me here in Canada. I like to keep it where, to get proper ventilation, I don't do actual resin. I do resin, UV resin, in the winter cooler months, but I only do actual resin when it's above 20. I can get all the windows open, get a good cross breeze, and not have to worry about contaminants or fumes or whatnot. So we finally hit some nice temperatures here in Calgary, so I decided to give it a shot yesterday, and very excited to see how this is going to turn out. So to start with, this is a new mold I just got. It is actually a handmade mold. I've never had a handmade mold before, and it is from Into Resin. I just got it. I'm thinking I'm going to make little pendants out of this. I just used the straight purple that I had going on yesterday. I'm thinking like on a pocket hug, something like that, but let's see how it turns out. It's a very, very pretty mold. I'm hoping I did it justice with my pour. Seeing you're a little close here, so I'm going to try to adjust that. There we go. I'm not sure what this is doing today. There we go. Okay. So we got this going on. So I'm going to... Wow. Okay. Look at that. That is so cool. I love that. That is... Wow. Look at all the shine. I'm thinking that I could put a pin on the back of that, and that could be like go on a pocket hug for a little brooch that someone can wear. Oh, I love that. Look, from that to that. How cool is that? Okay, that, oh my goodness. That is very, very pretty. I love that. That is, can't wait to make more of those. Okay, so next up, I made the turtle container. Looks interesting. I like turtles. So I decided I'd give this one a shot. Okay, so I put a little bit of purple in at the end just to make sure he was fully cured. Well, it was full. Like, let's see. I don't know if the purple's going to go through or if it's going to be more of the green and the goldish brown color I made yesterday. So yes, I'll be leaving all the noises in because I'm going and just talking as I go. So here's the back. Well, that turned out really good. And there's actually no bubbles in it. How cool is that? That's cute. I like that. That is... Alright, I'm going to zoom it out a little bit. It's not quite as close on everything. Sorry about that. I'm back, just trying to make this camera get a better spot. Hope this works a little better. Okay, so first we have this, which is very pretty. I like that. And now I've got the little turtle that's going on, and the top is his shell. So I'm hoping this turned out. This turned out very well. You see a little bit of sparkle in the colors. I actually lucked out, and there's no bubbles in there. Now let's see what's going on here. Well, that's cool. You can see the different colors in there. And then the lid fits right on. How cute is that? Okay, I like this. This is very nice for a first attempt at this mold, I think. Quite liking this. I'll have to make some more. I'll paint some little eyes on it, and the final pictures. Here's the underbellies. You can see there is some purple in there, not very much. And then there we go. Okay, so that's 2. I like those 2. Did well with those. Now this one is a pencil holder or a makeup brush holder. It's something to go on the counter. And I did put the purple gemstones at the top and then the purple and the silver in the bottom. So let's see how, there's a little bit of an overpour there. That's okay. I'm going to see how I can get this out. So far, I'm not having any problems, which is kind of exciting because my husband is at work today and he's not able to help me because sometimes I do need a little help to get some of these molds out when I'm having a bad day with my hands, which could be any day. But so far, things to be, let's get this little part out. I'm more or less turning this poor thing inside out to get it out, but if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. Oh, that's... So I'm gonna put that back the right way. It should be. Clean up a couple little overpours here. Let's get these molds out of the way. Now, what do you think? That is so pretty. Like, it's got a little hole there, because my thought was, like, if I had, like, pens or actually makeup brushes or Q-tips or something like that, that's kind of what I was thinking of. But I like that. That's pretty. That is. So far, I'm doing good for my first pour of the season. Let's keep it up. We got the octopus next. This is... I had the other octopus for a couple of years now. Loved it. Get a good response from the market. So when I saw this one, I'm like, I'm going to try this one too. Because this one is a matte mold. I don't mind switching it up sometimes. Not everything has to be shiny. Oh, very easy to get out. Like, very, very easy. So I'm going to have to put some face on him. Like, put some eyes. I think he deserves some eyes. Those are the gemstones I put in the top. And there's his coloring. How? And he's... How cool is he? Oh, I like him. So you could see the gemstones followed by the color, the green pigment, then the green and the purple that I put in. And they kind of stay separate because I put a little bit of glue in there to try to keep them so that you'd be able to see the different colors instead of it turning into a muddy brown. Let's see the purples and the greens. That was a choice I made. I'm glad I did. Oh, there's going to be so many more. So many more. Octopuses. That is, I like that. Oh my goodness. Is he shiny? No. Do I care? No, I don't. I'm going to put some really cool eyes on him, and then I'll show you final pictures at the end of the video. After I finished running the earlier video, I had some leftover resin, and I don't like to waste any resin, so I just poured all the clear into this little critters mold. I put a couple drops of UV paint or dye in it, and then I took some black gemstones, just no name brand gemstones, and dropped them through the ink to see if anything would happen. This one was an experiment, I'll admit that, but I just didn't want to waste this amount of resin because I always make too much or too little. It's just the way it is. So let's see. There will be some clear areas, and I'm good. Oh, this is, wow. Okay. I'm cheating because I'm looking and it's closer to me, but wow, this guy is so cool. Check out that face. Okay, just check out that face. That is, and you can see the dark stones and then the blues and the greens, like the black on the top. Those are gemstones. Those are just some cheap gemstones. But he is adorable. Okay, yes. I got to give him justice and get him some proper colors. Let me know what colors you think I should try for the octopus and this little critter. I think this is an axolotl. I really do. Kind of looks like what everyone's been featuring all over the place. I think he's a little axolotl. Might be a dragon. Let me know what you think it is, because I don't know. I just know I am one happy lady this morning for how this all turned out. If you're interested in trying resin or UV resin, my other ones are UV resin. My other videos so far, there'll be more resin videos coming. This is, all you got to do is try. If you want to try. That is, because I was watching all the videos to start with a few years back on YouTube, and I'm like, this stuff is so cool. And finally my husband said, try it. You could do it. And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can. Like, it's all these cool results. I don't know if I can do that. Well, you don't know till you try. You could buy yourself a kit. That's what I did. I bought a resin kit, followed the instructions, and it was just a little encouragement, which I am lucky to have a very supportive husband. And he's like, try it. I know you could do this. And I'm enjoying it. You can make gifts with it. I'm going to have to make one of these in like a red and black color for my brother. He loves octopuses and he loves red. So I tend to try to do more than one color because I want a little creation, a little creativity in there, something a little different. Because you see, if you just use one color, then, I mean, it's still a cool design. Like this one. Hello, that is so pretty. Sorry I jumped from conversation to conversation. I'm still in love with that one. That's Into Resin. Check out their website. I'll be shopping again. My husband will not be happy, but of course he supports me. He's good with what I do. It's just, once you see one new mold, it's like, I gotta try that. So, which is what I did, and I'm more than happy with everything that was created. So at this time, I want to thank you all for stopping by. I will try to do live talking when I'm doing unmolding. I will keep doing the voiceovers for anything that involves fumes or anything like that, because it's better to be safe than sorry. So I'm hoping this live talking works. We will see. If not, I may be doing a voiceover later. But thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Greetings from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Bye-bye.